and welcome to the Let's Talk About It Dad Sports Podcast.
That was awesome. Way to go.
Hi,
Then you say your name.
I'm Cillian, and I got my co-host.
Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, great
For
intro.
episode 14 this year.
Episode number 14. How exciting.
Yeah.
How has your week been?
It's been going like crazy.
Has it really?
Yeah, I had no work.
Good.
2 days off.
Okay, good. Get some good rest in? Or was it crazy with housework because you took work off?
Yes, I took work off.
Right. So what were you crazy with? What was so crazy?
Well, football games.
Football games.
The Lions beat the Patriots.
Okay.
Game.
Yeah, Lions beat the Patriots.
They beat them by a lot.
Okay, awesome.
44-35.
Wow. Not by like a ton, but by a good amount. Yeah, by 9.
Yeah, they won by 9.
Awesome. Very good. Any other new updates or anything else going on?
Let's kick into sports.
Let's kick it into sports. Okay, well, first we want to just make sure our listeners know that they can still like and subscribe and find us on any of their podcast listening mediums of choice. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our podcast so you know when our next episode's coming out, but it also helps other people find the podcast as well. Be sure to share us out on social media with your family and friends so we can get more people listening to Cillian talk about sports. As I have mentioned in the last few episodes, I did mention that we were going to get an email and maybe get onto some social networks. I did one thing. I got us an email. Okay?
You did?
Yep. So I got us an email. I'm going to list it in the show notes, but I'll also read it out right now for our listeners. And the email is a chance for them to send us any questions. Maybe just let us know how they're feeling about the podcast or about the sports that we talk about. Just give the listeners a chance to connect with us. Sound good? So the email is let's talk sports cjpj@gmail.com.
Got it.
Got it? Do you know what the
Yeah.
CJ and the PJ is for?
No.
That's your first initial and middle initial, and my first initial and middle initial. That's why I put it in there.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, kind of weird. So it's let's talk sports cjpj@gmail.com. So our listeners can then send us an email. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, let's get into the sports. We're going to start with college football. But before I switch anything at what we're looking at right now, I'm going to go over how you did this last week. You picked 10 games.
Wow.
Last episode. Do you remember that?
Yeah, episode 13.
Episode 13, that's right. So you went 9-1 in your 10 picks.
Okay, let's start with this game.
Hold on, I'm gonna come back to that one, but I want to just kind of let you know that you went 9-1 in your picks from last week. And actually, before I even switch to that, let's talk about those picks. So you went 9-1, which puts you at 43-26 on the season. That's a really good record of picking college football. That might be your sport. So you had Ferris State over the Minnesota State Mavericks in the quarterfinals of the Division II championships, and they won 52-29, and they're moving on to the semifinals.
What? The semifinals?
Yep. So if they win that game, then they go into the national championship in Division II. So we'll talk about that here in a second. I want to go through
who they play next.
Yep, we'll see who they play next after we go through the rest of these games. You had picked James Madison, the Dukes, to beat Troy in the Sun Belt Championship, and they did 31-14. We picked Kennesaw State to beat Jacksonville State, and they won 19-15.
I wanted the Waves.
Right. Yep, that's the next one. We picked Tulane to beat North Texas, and they won 34-21.
Who did?
Tulane, the Waves, the Green Waves.
Oh,
beat
yeah.
the Mean Green. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Mean Green Wave.
Yep. You picked the Boise State Broncos to beat the UNLV Rebels, and they did, 38-21. You picked the Texas Tech Red Raiders to beat the BYU Cougars, and they did, 34-7. You picked Western Michigan to beat Miami of Ohio, and they did, 23-13. You had actually in last week's episode guessed that the score was going to be 23-15. You were off by 2 points, but you still got the win.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. The only game that you lost in championship weekend was your tried and true Alabama Crimson Tide. Could not beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Ended up losing a bad one, 28-7. Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah. You picked
Alabama.
Indiana to beat Ohio State, and they did, 13-10 to win a Big Ten championship for Indiana Hoosiers. And then you picked the University of Virginia Cavaliers to beat the Duke Blue Devils, and they did, 27-20 in overtime. So well done. Really good job in your college football picks. So this week, I've got 3 picks for you. All right, and we're going to start off with the Ferris State Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
Who are going to host the semifinal in Big Rapids at noon on Saturday. So we'll get to watch it with Uncle Mike, I think, and Granddad. Yeah. They play the Newberry College Wolves.
The Newberry College Wolves.
Yeah, that's their logo there. See the wolf howling. Who do you think's going to win this one? Do we've got Ferris State or Newberry?
Ferris State.
Ferris State for the win, going to the national championship, you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. Next up, we've got the Army versus Navy game. Now, this is a historic game. This game is going to be played on Saturday at 3 o'clock in Maryland. The Army and Navy game, Army and Navy have faced off a total of 116 times. To date, Navy has 60 wins, Army has 49 wins, and there have been 7 ties. The first ever game between these two was played in 1890. A long, long time ago. So, this is the Army. This is the Navy. Who do you got? Army is sitting at 6-5 right now. Navy is 9-2. I will say, we have a lot of family who were in the Army. We have a lot of family who are in the Navy. Right now, Uncle Henry, he's in the Army. Who do you like in this matchup?
Because Uncle Henry's in the Army, I'm going with Army.
Going with Army for Uncle Henry. I love it. All right, great pick. And I've got one other pick for you for the podcast, okay?
Oh, yeah. I hope it's one I love.
It might be, but it's going to kind of segue into all sorts of other picks that we're going to do, that we're going to open up to the entire listening group, okay? So, bowl season is here, where all the college teams that have good enough records, unfortunately not Michigan State, get to go off and play in a bowl game, which is kind of like a championship type game that they get to play in a cool location.
Okay.
So there are 2 games other than the Army-Navy game, which is not a bowl game, but is a game on December 13th. There are 2 other games on December 13th. I picked one of them for you to pick because these are 2 teams that you're kind of familiar with. This is the Boise State Broncos against the Washington Huskies. They're going to play at 8 o'clock in Los Angeles in the Bucked Up LA Bowl, which is just a weird name, isn't it?
Broncos.
You're going to go with the Boise State Broncos coming off of their Mountain West championship win?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because they have orange.
And they've got orange. That's right. They're orange and blue,
yeah.
aren't they? Yeah. To beat the Washington Huskies?
Mm-hmm.
I like that pick.
Washington doesn't. They have gold, but I don't like the blue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you like their gold, but not necessarily the purple that they have.
No,
Yeah.
I like the blue and orange for the Broncos.
Right. Yep.
That's why I picked them.
I think that's awesome. So since bowl season is upon us, I put together a bowl pool picking contest through ESPN.com, the website, and I'm going to link it in the show notes so our listeners can go through all the bowl games, just like you and I will do after outside of the show, and we're going to pick all the bowl games to see who is the best picker of college football bowl picks.
I am.
You think you are? Well, you heard that here first, listeners. Cillian thinks he's the best college bowl picker.
Yeah, because I pick a lot of teams.
You do. Yes, definitely. So if you'd like to join our contest, check out the show notes. There should be a link. I'm going to link it as ESPN Bowl Picks. And you can click on that link and you'll get taken right directly to our bowl pick pool. And you get to make
Where is the pool?
It's not like a real pool. It's like a collection of picks. Okay, that's what I mean.
Did it get like paper?
Yeah, well, kind of like paper. It'll just be all online. And so then all of our listeners will get to make picks, and then we'll get to see who did the best throughout the bowl season. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
And the winner is going to win an awesome prize from me and Cillian. I think we'll just... What do you think it should be? I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Can you tell me?
I don't know. I didn't have any ideas. I was just going to say that whoever wins, whoever has the best record, is going to win a prize from us.
What's the prize?
I don't know. What do you think the prize should be?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll have to talk about it off air. Sound good? What do you have any ideas of what it should be?
No.
No.
Don't have any ideas.
Okay, well, we'll come up with some ideas after the show is over. But the winner is going to win a cool prize from me and Cillian. Which,
well,
honestly, Cillian,
I want the prize to be from them.
From the listeners?
And it will be for us.
For us? Well, you got to win, I think. Are you going to win?
Like 23 points.
23 points? Okay. Well, I hope you get more than that, even. Sound good?
Maybe 41.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. I am going to get us situated. Are you ready to move on to some NFL football?
Yep.
We'll talk about the NFL. Okay. So let's try and do this. We're going to see if we can get everything else set up on my phone for us to check out. Okay. So last week you had... Doesn't seem to be working. We're going to use this instead.
No, we can use the pictures because...
Well, I don't have any more pictures for you.
The computer only does pictures.
Right. Yeah, I can try and show it to you that way. All right. So in the NFL last week, you had 3 picks. Unfortunately, you went 1-2. Your win was the Lions on Thursday Night Football. They beat the Cowboys 44-30.
Okay. I picked the Falcons over the Seahawks.
No. Yeah, I think you did. But we're just focused on right here. The Cowboys over the Lions. Or the Lions over the Cowboys, right? So you picked that one. You got that one right, which was awesome. Lions now moved up to 8-5. Dallas is down to 6-1. Your next pick was the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football against the Houston Texans. Unfortunately, the Texans were really strong on defense and ended up winning 20-10. So that drops the Chiefs down to 6-7, and the Texans are up to 8-5 on the season. Actually, I should mention in that game, unfortunately, Mahomes had 3 interceptions. Yikes. Not very good. In the Lions game, I should mention that Gibbs had 3 rushing touchdowns again.
Was he on defense?
No, he was on offense. St. Brown had 92 yards receiving after coming off of his ankle injury in the Thanksgiving football game. And Jamison Williams had 96 yards receiving. And then the last game that you picked you had picked the Bears over the Packers. And Jordan Love ended up throwing 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Christian Watson, who had 4 receptions and 89 yards. And the Packers ended up winning 28-21, which put the Packers at the top of the NFC North. Huh?
Oh, I love that game.
What game?
That one right there.
You gotta explain it because people can't see it. Our listeners can't see it. You need to explain
This one, right there.
You need to explain it. Which one are you talking about?
So, the Broncos got the win with a big shutout, 24-17.
Yeah, not quite a shutout, but they did get the win over the Las Vegas Raiders, 24-17. So again, you went 1-2, which puts your NFL record on 30-35. So let's take a look at and 1. Let's take a look at this week's schedule. We're only going to look at 3 games as well. First up, we've got the Detroit Lions
Against who?
against the Los Angeles Rams. So they travel to Los Angeles, to California, to play at 4:25 on Sunday against the LA Rams, who are sitting at 10-3 right now. I want to say at the top of the NFC altogether. They're doing really, really well this year. Who do you got between the Lions and the Rams?
Lions.
Going for the Lions. All right. How many touchdowns do you think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get?
51.
Well, maybe like a more realistic guess.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3 more? Okay, that sounds good. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are hosting their division rival, the Los Angeles Chargers. And I know you don't like those Chargers, do you? So this game's at 1 o'clock on Sunday in Arrowhead. Who do you got?
A bummer that they're not playing someone who I like.
Yeah, but you were going to pick the Chiefs anyway, weren't you?
Yeah, they'll flip onto the Chiefs.
Yeah. How many touchdowns do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to throw or score on Sunday?
He's going to have 15 passes and 15 touchdowns.
15 passes, 15 touchdowns. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last game that we're going to pick today is a game between the Green Bay Packers and actually a team that you just talked about, the Denver Broncos. Denver hosts the Green Bay Packers. Let's see, at 4:25 on Sunday as well. Who do you got between the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers?
Denver.
All right, that's a good pick. Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about in regards to the NFL?
Maybe we do 2 more sports.
2 more sports? Yeah, so
we're going to do college hockey.
Okay.
And NHL hockey.
Okay. You don't want to talk about college basketball at all?
No, we'll do that tomorrow.
Well,
on next Wednesday.
Next week? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just make mention that Oakland is 5-5?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And they play the Northern Iowa Panthers tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll pick Oakland.
You'll pick Oakland there. Okay. So you want to talk NHL and you want to talk college hockey and then be done for the episode?
Yeah, and then we'll go watch. There's probably there's probably a Michigan State basketball game on.
Well, Michigan State basketball plays this Saturday as well. They play against Penn State. I have picks lined up for you in college basketball if you want to talk about it.
No, let's do that tomorrow.
You mean next week?
Yeah, next week.
Okay. So you want to talk NHL? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then college hockey.
Okay. So last week you had 3 picks in the NHL. And actually, I'm going to close this up so that way you're not distracted. You had 3 picks in the NHL. You had the Detroit Red Wings over the Columbus Blue Jackets. You had the Pittsburgh Penguins over the Tampa Bay Lightning. and you had the Carolina Hurricanes over the Toronto Maple Leafs. All these games were last Thursday. You were sitting at 20-30 on your picking record. Unfortunately, the Red Wings lost 6-5 in overtime. They were up 5-4 going into the last minute of the third period, gave up a goal, and then lost in the shootout in overtime against Columbus. 6-5. The Pittsburgh Penguins did beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. They won 4-3, and right now they're in the top wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. The Red Wings are on a 2-game win streak despite their loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and are sitting in third in the Atlantic and in the third playoff spot in the East. And then Toronto ended up beating Carolina 5-1 in that game. So you went 1-2 on your picks, which puts you at 21-32 on the season. I have 4 games for you to pick in the NHL. 3 of them are going to be on Thursday, and then the last one is going to be on Saturday, which is another Red Wings game. Sound good?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the first one is the Red Wings on Thursday against the top wildcard spot in the West. We have them facing the Edmonton Oilers. Who do you like between the Red Wings and the Oilers?
Lickety split Red Wings.
Lickety split Red Wings. I like it. All right. All right. Next up, we've got on Thursday the Tampa Bay Lightning against the New Jersey Devils.
Lickety split Devils.
Going with the Devils. Why did you pick the Devils?
Because they have red.
Because they've got red. Okay, fair enough. Ooh, here's going to be a tough one because both of these teams have red. On Thursday, we've got the Carolina Hurricanes against the top team in the East, the Washington Capitals. Who do you got in that one?
Well, the Capitals have less red.
Less red, okay.
So, probably the Hurricanes.
You're going with the Hurricanes. Okay, very good.
Lickety split Hurricanes.
Very good. And then last but not least is a game on Saturday between 2 Original 6 rivals, the Detroit Red Wings against the Chicago Blackhawks. Who do you got in that one? Yeah, again. Who do you got in that one?
Lickety split Red Wings.
Red Wings. Okay, very good. Sounds good.
Go Red Wings.
Nice. All right. So, college hockey. Ready to move on to that? Okay. So college hockey is a little bit sparse in terms of games this upcoming weekend, so I didn't have any games for you to pick, but I figured we would review. Figured we would review how your picks went from last week. Okay, so last week you had picked Michigan State over U of M in their 2-game series, and they ended up splitting. So this was a home and home. So the first night they played at Munn Ice Arena in East Lansing, and University of Michigan posted a shutout for the first time since like the 1990s over Michigan State, winning 3-0. It was 1-0 going into the third period. Michigan got a second goal and then an empty netter for their third goal. So Michigan State was feeling kind of blue after their loss. They traveled to Ann Arbor the next night to play at Yost Ice Arena, and Michigan State came in with more firepower and ended up winning 3-1.
3-1?
Yep, so they split the series. Both teams kept their rankings. So Michigan is still set at number 1, and Michigan State is set at number 3, with Wisconsin set up in the second place spot. No, in second. You also picked Western Michigan Broncos, the number 7 Western Michigan Broncos, over the University of Minnesota Duluth, number 4. Those teams also split, with the University of Minnesota Duluth getting the first game, winning 4-1, and Western Michigan winning in overtime in the second game, 3-2. And then last but not least, you picked Denver, number 5 Denver over number 14 Miami of Ohio. And Denver won both of those games big, 4-0 on the first night, and then 5-2 on the second night. So that was college hockey. What'd you think?
Love it.
Love it. All right. 2 things that I wanted to kind of chat about. If that's okay. I wanted to give everybody, since we kind of talked about it last week, give everybody an update about the F1 race. So,
Did Ferrari win? I've been dreaming about that.
No, Ferrari did not win, unfortunately. But Max Verstappen from Red Bull ended up winning. But Lando Norris, who was coming into the race in the top spot in the season, the championship season, took third in the race, which meant that he ended up winning the individual championship for the whole season over Max Verstappen by 2 points. So he took third place. Max took first in the race. But Lando Norris ended up winning the overall championship in F1 this year. So we got a little bit of a break from F1, but we'll maybe get back to it when they start the season up again. And hopefully Ferrari can do better this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should win like all the races.
All right, there we go. Hopefully next year they can win all the races.
How many races can they do?
I want to say that there's like 30 plus races in F1. So there's a lot of races. There are a lot of opportunities to win an F1 race. All right. Okay. And then last but not least, do you want to talk maybe a little bit about college basketball?
Yeah, maybe we just talk about one game.
One game? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So we'll talk about, how about the OU game against, well, actually, how about this?
Let's do 2 games. Michigan State and OU.
Okay, so OU plays Northern Iowa, the Panthers, in Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa is 7-2. OU is 5-5, coming off of a win over Toledo, where they won 98-97. Brody Robinson actually is back-to-back Horizon League Player of the Week, which is pretty exciting. So who do you got for Oakland? Who do you got, Oakland or Northern Iowa?
Oakland.
Oakland, okay.
It's hard to pick when my tummy's rumbling.
Is it? That's so funny. I guess we should probably find you a snack, huh? Except you already brushed your teeth, so we can't really find you a snack.
My belly.
All right, Michigan State. They're sitting in 9th right now after their loss to Duke. They lost 66-60. They dropped down to 9th on the season. Duke moved up to 3rd. Michigan State will play the Penn State Nittany Lions on Saturday. Who do you have in that one?
I'm thinking Michigan State.
Michigan State. All right. Another hometown team, the University of Michigan, who's sitting at number 2 right now in the rankings, is playing the Maryland Terrapins on Saturday. Who do you got in that one between U of M and Maryland?
Is Michigan Wolverines
Against the Maryland Terrapins.
The Pins.
You're going for the Terrapins?
Yeah,
With the upset over Michigan? Because they've got red. Okay, yes. Sounds good. All right, I've got 2 more picks for you. Can you do 2 more? All right, so we've got the number 1 Arizona Wildcats against the number 12 Alabama Crimson Tide. Who do you got in that one?
Lickety split tide.
Roll Tide, huh? All right, and then I've got 1 more pick for you. This is the number 6 Purdue Boilermakers against the unranked Marquette Golden Eagles. Your granddad.
Lickety split Purdue.
Oh, you're going for Purdue. I was just about to say your granddad went to Marquette. So did my cousin Tom. But you're still going with Purdue, huh?
Yeah, because
all right.
I don't like the Eagles.
Don't like the Golden Eagles. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles stink.
Oh, man. Those are some fighting words. Okay. So, to let our fans know, again, thanks so much for listening. Please like and subscribe and share the podcast with all of your friends and family. Cillian loves to talk about sports and can't wait to get more people to listen. And now, maybe send us some emails and questions and comments through our email, which is let's talk sports cjpj@gmail.com. And also make sure that you check the show notes for our Bowl Pick Mania through ESPN. Let's see who ends up being the best bowl picker in our listening group. Well, which Cillian thinks is him, so he'll win his own prize unless a listener can pick better than him and win the prize that we come up with. What do you have to say to that?
It's like they're a stealing contest.
Not a stealing contest. If they win, they're gonna win fair and square. All right, Cillian, do you have anything else that you'd like to share with the listeners?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? What's your sign off?
Go Chiefs. Go Lions. Go Sparty.
Go Oakland?
Go Oakland, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Get those bowl picks in. Remember, the first game for bowl season starts at noon on December 13th. So once this goes out, get into the show notes, get those picks in, and we'll have an awesome bowl season. And awesome.
I'm winning.
Yep. We'll see who can maybe have a better pick record than Cillian.
Just me.
All right.